These young poets committed themselves to coming to Poetry Club every week for 7 months after a full day's work at school. They wrote from all sorts of prompts, inspiring images that I found, and baskets filled with all kinds of items to stir their imaginations. They also wrote from their everyday lives. And now, some of these poets are here to generously share their work with you. I would like to start off, though, with a poem that I wrote last week when I was putting together their poetry anthology. And I don't usually write in second person, but this poem just came out that way. Delicious Moments, it's called. You drive to Paradise Copy with your daughter at the wheel and a satchel of sprightly colored covers tucked away, waiting to receive poems your young poets have penned. And then it hits you, the splendor of the dark clouds, gathering forces behind the greenly garbed trees, leaves quaking in the foreground, a scene by an artist whose name you can't retrieve. And it occurs to you, and you say out loud to your daughter, who isn't really listening, this looks like a poem. And then you think of the poets who entrusted their literary care to you, who would come to Poetry Club and chatter of their lives, the everyday morsels that skip through our days, and you would tell them, sure sounds like a poem to me. And their faces would light up from the realization that they own all the ideas that poems are made from, all those delicious moments in their day that present themselves on a platter to be sliced up and served as poetry. And thank you. And our first young poet is Miss Aaliyah Sutter. And Aaliyah's going to read 3 of her poems to you.
Today I'll be reading 3 poems for you. The first one is based on Poetry Club. Poetry Club, meeting once a week, separating to comfortable spots, to write spontaneous and joyful poetry, to read in a group, making peaceful minds to one another, making everyone come together as one big happy group of poets. The next one is called Bear. It's based on the Bear Fest. A fluffy, snuggly bear keeping the warmth of my heart. A plastic bear sitting upon a stump, collecting visitors all day. Waking up to my fluffy bear still concentrating on my desired heart. Bear, oh bear, I'm visiting you. The next one I'm reading is Garden. It's based on the first day of spring. Springing with spontaneous joy, whispering, flattering secrets, jumping into action, collecting furious sunshine, keeping the secrets together.
Thank you, Aaliyah. And our next poet to read is Lil Wiseman.
I'll be reading 2 poems. The first one is called Alone. When I'm alone, I'm in an alternative reality. When I'm alone, I can be who I want. I can be the person no one knows. The second poem I'll be reading is Bears. It's for the Bear Fest. Bears. Furry, scary. Claws, sharp teeth. Growls, grrr. Wait, these bears aren't scary. They're made of fiberglass. Colors, patterns, themes of all kind. Artists take honor when asked to use imagination, colors, being a kid, to make these beautiful, boisterous, beauteous, becoming bears.
And our next young poet is Valerie Murphy.
I'll be reading 3 poems that I wrote today. The first one is called The Lonely Bear, and it's based on the Bear Fest. In the woods lurks a sad, lonely bear. No one to be friends with, no one to care. He was nice, kind, and amazing, but his appearance was terrible, ugly, and shaggy. If only he thought he was like the others. He collected his tears to realize that being different is the best kind of bear to be. My second poem I'll be reading is called Night Skies. Vivid night skies, bursting through stars, seeping through moons in another universe. And my third poem I'll be reading is called Breeze. And a cold breeze can freeze your imagination until you try to think again.
Thank you, Val. And we have a special guest poet, Paige Zelinsky, and many of you, I'm sure, know her from the library. And Paige is going to be reading a poem by Mary Oliver.
Spring by Mary Oliver. Somewhere, a black bear has just risen from sleep and is staring down the mountain. All night, in the brisk and shallow restlessness of early spring, I think of her 4 black fists flicking the gravel, her tongue like a red fire touching the grass, the cold water. There is only one question: how to love this world. I think of her, rising like a black and leafy ledge to sharpen her claws against the silence of the trees. Whatever else my life is, with its poems and its music and its glass cities, it is also this dazzling darkness coming down the mountain, breathing and tasting. All day I think of her white teeth, her wordlessness, her perfect love.
Thank you, Paige. And we have another guest poet. This is a poet that I worked with, Roger Hanlon. I worked with in Jody's Alatalo's class at Maple School this year. And he came and wanted to read because a couple of the poetry club members weren't able to be here. So Roger is going to read a poem by Nathan Crosby.
Beautiful, amazing artist bears. How great, mighty and huge, Bear Fest. Remarkable bears.
And this is great because Roger wasn't here on our reading in Jody's class, so I was so happy to see him. Our next poet is Serena Gonzalez.
I will be reading 5 bully poems. And the reason why I wrote these is because I was bullied once. Bullies are pushing you around in school. They're mad, though some just self-centered. Running away from them, you don't know what to do. Someone, please help me. Shoved into lockers, but found a way to get out. Oh no, you're still there. Can't get out of here. Please, someone, let me out. 'Cause I'm a human. Why are you doing this to me? Can't you see I'm crying?
Thank you, Serena. And our next poet is Grace Levins.
I'll be reading 4 poems today. The first one is called Rain. The drops go splat as the rain falls down, down, down on me as the world stops spinning, and I'm cold as the rain closes down around me and the world. The next one is called My Butterfly. Your wings glisten with sparkles, your flutter glows with beauty. Your grace shatters my anger, your love warms my heart. And then the next one I have is about my fish. Died a long time ago, gone forever and ever. Goodbye, my friend. I'll never let you go. And then I have a bear poem for the Bear Fest. The furry feet climb up the tree as the bear gets a better view for watching the girls and boys read their poems at the Bear Fest, where we stand today and listen to the words as the bear sleeps lonely in the tree.
Thank you, Grace. And our last, but certainly not least, poet is Dia Bromberg.
I'll be reading 4 poems today, and my first one is called Rainbow. Colors fading slowly in the sky. My second poem is called Trees. Strong branches reaching up, collecting light from the sky. My third poem is called Circus, and I wrote this poem about the circus because I like to go to the circus. Colorful people from foreign lands, jugglers, acrobats, and laughing clowns. My fourth poem is about the bears for the Bear Fest. Bears come alive to walk around town at night. Will they scare? Will they bite? Bears walk around town at night to explore our city while we're out of sight.
Thank you, Dia. Thank you, poets. You did a great job. And thank you, everyone who came to hear our hearts and our souls. Enjoy the Bear Fest.